Hey. Game on, baby. Game on, baby. I just sat down with such an amazing man. Earlier on in the year, or earlier when we started, I sat down with another amazing man, the CEO of Titans Cricket, Dr. Jacques Fall. I just had guess. Just take a guess, Aya. Who did I sit down with? Anyway, Aya is here. Pumza is here. Harry is not here. Harry is nowhere to be found, but I don't know what's happening with Harry, bro.
I'll see him soon. I'll see him soon.
How's it, bro?
I'm good yourself, sir.
I kept them, I left them hanging for a particular reason. Can you please tell me what just happened right now, bud? Can you believe it? Because I know you're saying you're sitting there and you're like, yo, I'm nervous and everything.
I'm nervous, bro. I'm nervous. I'm very nervous. But it was amazing. It was very amazing. It was very heartwarming. It was very informative. Sitting, just listening to the CEO, you know. But the greatest part for me was the humanity.
Yeah,
that guy's
amazing. Humanity is
so
everything.
amazing.
Yeah,
You know,
he's a human before he's a CEO.
Yes.
That's to me.
He's so down to earth. It's amazing, bro. It's rare you get people like this.
Yeah,
it's amazing, bro.
Yeah,
I think he said something that I knew and I've heard before, that he is a people's person, and he's 100% correct.
I think that's one thing that you always hear when you speak about Jono LeafWrights. They say, nah, he's an absolute gent. And a lot of times you think that, oh, well, surely there is someone that doesn't think like that. But we have everyone that speaks about the same thing, and he himself says, it's not about the title, it's about the relationships. That to me is like, wow.
Correct.
Wow.
He went on further to say, at his door, he doesn't have that tag.
But
that was just
CEO,
so
like,
amazing,
come
bro.
on,
I
really?
don't have that CEO
Yeah,
tag. That was
yeah,
amazing, bro.
yeah,
I don't think
yeah.
people want that. People want that title. I'm a CEO, bro.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. Because
People
I
want
even
to know.
want it on my card just to write.
Yeah,
Oh, I
definitely.
understand, yeah.
But Tads, there was something that I heard about this guy, and from this interview, I definitely know now it's true. So they were playing against Titans. He took all his staff members. They were playing at Centurion. They're playing at Centurion. He took all his staff members.
Yeah.
Took all of them, bus, took them there. He fed them, did everything just for free.
Wow.
Just for free. Just a day off, brother.
Wow.
So that for me was very, very
He said so in the interview as well, that, I always tell my staff that family is important.
Correct.
So cricket mustn't come first. And here we are, we say, no, I eat, breathe cricket. It's not supposed to be like that. Your family comes first
all the
before,
time.
exactly. So
Yeah, that was amazing, yeah.
that was a really good interview. Anyway, let's not waste so much time and get everyone to watch the interview. But I'm so humbled at the fact that, one, we are at the DP World Wonders, right? The view from up here, bud. What is that? Imagine you looking at...
It's amazing, bro.
Looking at Queenie. Queenie's going to be done after this World Cup anyway. But you're looking at Rabada steaming in and bowling 140. Or better yet, Andrik Nokia steaming in, bowling it at 150, and you're looking at from this view. How amazing.
It's great, bro.
Look at God, gents. You know what? Look at God.
The feeling, brother. The feeling.
Just look at God at the doors that
I'm
opening
very
for us.
blessed to be here, guys. I'm very blessed to be here. It's amazing, man. You can even see behind us here. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Great interview, Tads. Well done, bro.
Awesome stuff. Anyway, they say well done to me, but I believe it's well done to the whole team and what we're trying to achieve. That's really important. And let's not waste time. Remember, the banner down below is for you to sponsor the channel. There is so much that we need. We actually need a new tripod because our tripod broke. So can we have a sponsor for that? We need a new camera. We need new laptops. We need new lighting. We need new microphone stands. We need a car to make sure that everything that we need is packed away nicely. But thank you so much for all being there. Thank you so much for being with us from day one and what we are trying to achieve. And I've been seeing it all unfold. If something like this interests you, remember, consider subscribing, because with the numbers growing, more people are going to hear. And with more people hearing, that means we're going to reach the next person. Jono said something that there's 60 clubs that are in and around Gauteng. That is so much work that needs to be covered. And we cannot cover it with just a small car, because you need to pick away from one point to the next to ensure that the next club also gets the same limelight as you, as Randburg, as Wanderers, and whatnot. And what Lions Cricket is trying to achieve, or Gauteng is trying to achieve. This is really amazing. Anyway, let's jump in. Boom.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good. Fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts. I pop off when I hear people.
Hello there and welcome to another one. It's game on, baby. My name is Tatenda, back with another one. And you can see where we are. I feel so important right now. Not only because I'm sitting next to a legend, but because I come back to your screens and I sit down with so many different individuals that are doing their best to make sure that the game of cricket or sport in general is different. Now, from servants to custodians of cricket, we come to you every Thursday. So if something like this interests you, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. That way, that's how the next person hears about the people that we meet and also what we are trying to achieve. We are mainly focused with club cricket, but for the most part, we are so thrilled. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the legend. I need to take off my glasses because you know what? There are such individuals that you just meet and you sit down with and you're thinking, what did I do to deserve this? Ladies and gentlemen, meet Mr. Jono LeafWrights, CEO of Gauteng Cricket. Hello, sir. How are you?
Thank you, Tatenda. Thank you very much for having me as one of your guests. It's actually a real privilege for me to be here speaking to you, brother.
Listen to a legend saying it's a
you're the
privilege.
important people that tell our stories. So without people like you telling our story, we wouldn't be able to grow the game and develop it like we want to. So thanks to you and the great work you and your team do.
Wow, amazing how you are still so humble. I think from knowing you from DJ Cricket to what you are now, how does it feel to be a CEO? Because nothing else has changed. Everything else is still Jono LeafWright and all the achievements thereof. How do you pinch yourself sometime and think, did I achieve this much?
Yeah, T, I think at the end of the day, I was Jono 20 odd years ago when I matriculated, and I'm still the same Jono today. I think that's been something that I've really strived for. I'm human, and without great people next to me like you and my great team that's 3 floors down here working hard, or the team that's on the ground in our township and development areas or at our schools or at our clubs, we wouldn't be where we are today. And I've realized at a young age that if we're going to win in the end, it's going to not be because of me and only me. It's going to be because of the great people I put next to me.
Amazing.
And for me, that's really what I've strived for. And I think it's something which I've always been applauded for, is that I am and will always just be Jono. Wow. The guy that works hard and enjoys good people next to him.
Wow, amazing. If you're still here, we're reporting live from the Wanderers Cricket Stadium, the Bullring. The view from up here is amazing. I feel like I've achieved. You know, I can just close off the cameras and say, no, let's go, I'm done. Anyway, the first question that everyone will always go for is, who is that? And everyone knows you, right? But I always want to hear who Jono is from Jono. Because everyone else has got a perception of you. You know who you are. So who is Jono?
Yeah, T, I think if I look back at my journey, I schooled in Durban. I matriculated in Johannesburg. My parents got a transfer. My dad was with Nampak for 42 years. We moved to Johannesburg. 8 months after that, he decided to go and live in Africa for 15 years with my mom, Mozambique, Nigeria, Angola. And I had a choice to go with. And I would have gone into an international school in Mozambique, in Maputo, in my matric year, and I said, Dad, I've just moved up to Johannesburg. I'm not going to Mozambique, and I need to stay in Johannesburg. And that's really where my journey began. I got involved in coaching at a young age, exiting school. I went back to my high school that I played cricket at, and they said, no, we're looking for top coaches. So we fill. And I decided to go to another school and try my luck, and that's where I began. And I was involved in education for 18 years. During that time, as you know, I built up a very big coaching academy, the biggest in the country, over 900 players and 90 odd coaches that were next to me for close on 18 years. Yeah. I grew 11 other businesses while I was at and involved in education, and other events like the Montrose Challenge, which we started in 2002. I then launched the Blue Label Alexander Township program, where we took phys ed and human movement back to the township schools in Alexander. We fed 14,000 odd kids on a weekly basis. Jeez. We created a talent pool of 14,000 kids, whittled down to the Alex Schools 11 that played in the Montrose Challenge. In year one, They got absolutely smashed by everybody. In year 2, they won 2 games.
Wow.
And in year 3, they made the final.
Wow.
And that's because of the care and the love and the support that we gave that group. And a player that came out of that system, Sipho Potsane, that we picked up as a 10-year-old boy in Alexander that didn't understand a clue about cricket. He played football. We could see he could throw, he could bat, he could catch. With a bit of good coaching, a bit of good support, and a bit of holistic management, he got a bursary at Jeppe School for Boys. He's playing S under 19 today, and he's one of the top players in the province. And that's someone we found when he was 10 and gave an opportunity to. So over these years, it's been a journey, and it's been a blessed journey. Not only was I involved in cricket, but in the business of cricket. And in 2019, when I got this opportunity, I actually wasn't going to apply. I didn't want to apply. I had these 11 businesses, and things were going well, and I was happy.
You were busy as well, and things were going well.
And things were good. And at the end of the day, I'd spent 20 years growing businesses that I was in a good space with. And Enoch Inkwe at the time, who's now DOC, who was the head coach of the Lions at the time, said please. I had Temba and a few of the other players saying please. And the president at the time, Mr. Jack Madasingh, saying please. And I thought, okay, guys, I'll throw my name in the hat. I'll keep you guys quiet. And there were 77 odd applicants, whittled down to a short list of 3. And here we are sitting today. And it's been an incredible journey. Many may or may not know, in 2002, in 2003, I did my internship here at the Wanderers for the World Cup. And packed boxes and ran around like a headless chicken, being told whether to go left or right, but that was what I did. A few months later, I bought a ticket at the gate. I walked into the stadium, I knocked on the players' change room door, and the then manager, the late legend himself, who managed the Protea side for many years, Mr. Gulam Raja, opened the door and said, "What do you want, boy?" And I said, "Sir, I'm here to learn, I'm here to grow, I'll clean shoes, I'll wash dishes, I'll make milkshakes. Whatever you need me to do, just let me do it." He said, "Come in."
Wow.
And I was a change room attendant for many years.
Wow.
And then in 2009, when the IPL came here, Royal Challengers, I'd done obviously my different levels of coaching, and I was asked to assist the Royal Challengers Bangalore. And as you know, we played in the final here against Deccan Chargers. And then the following year, I went to India to be one of the assistant coaches with the Royal Challengers doing the IPL. And became national talent scout for 11 years with CSA. Gagisa Rabada, I remember as a 15-year-old boy, we picked him up at St. Stithians, took him to a camp. Quinton de Kock, Vian Mulder, Ryan Rickleton, many of the players today were from that stable that I was blessed enough and privileged enough to be a part of as national talent scout.
That's why I say, don't you sometimes pinch yourself like, is this real? That's one. And 2, have you considered screenwriting and screenplaying? Because, geez, you're a very good storyteller.
Well, I think that's why we're here too.
You
can tell the story.
The whole room here is just going, drooling. And you're like, gosh, is he saying that? Amazing. Well done for all the achievements. But I want to come back to, you said you were a Durban boy. And yes, you played cricket and you wanted to get into coaching. Was that because you loved the sport? Were your parents involved in you choosing the career path of cricket? Or what was the thinking process behind you as a player? Then you leave the playing days to get into coaching. You leave the coaching to get into administration.
Yeah, I think, for me, I was never a great player. I was a decent batter and bowler, but never played provincial cricket, never played a top level of cricket. And I loved all sport. I was actually more a footballer in school days than I was a cricketer. I was a striker and I was tall and used to get my head in there for those top corner goals. But I enjoyed cricket, and just the way in life when you're moving forward, you don't understand often the reasons. But when you pause and you reflect back, you understand how the dots were connected and why things happened. And I think for me, the journey of cricket really began post-school, more than during school. I played all sports during school. I absolutely love sport. But the journey of cricket really began post-school. And the different opportunities that were afforded to me, the different choices and decisions I made at certain points of time aligned me or pushed me to get close to certain people who were influential at time within the cricketing landscape and the cricketing circles. And I think anyone that's in business, and whether it's at Rambo Cricket Club or any school or any business, relationships are key. And I think for me, relationships and networking with key people and understanding that we're all brothers and sisters and human, as long as we hold hands and align towards a common vision, we can deliver magic. And I think for me, those relationships over the years have been consistent. and I've tried to remain Jono and just normal Jono right through that entire process, which has kept good people next to me and kept good people backing me. From my days as a teacher where I had sponsors and partners back me as this little 20-year-old boy who really knew nothing, to today, and I've managed to attract and retain and keep close to many of those key people in my life.
Wow. Take me through, this is a 20-year-old that has bought a ticket. You're 20 when you walked into the Wanderers and bought yourself a ticket. And having the guts, some would call it another word, and I'm not going to say the word, but we're having the guts of knocking at a player's changing room and saying, I'm here to serve. I'm here to be a ball boy. I'm here to wash dishes. I'm here to do anything. That to me speaks volumes around humility, speaks volumes around wanting to learn, speaks volumes around less of me and more of the game. Hence you are such a servant of the sport. How did a 20-year-old get such a mindset? That's some experience that a man has to about 50, 60 years of age to actually impart on that. Was there a man or was there a mentor that sort of pushed you towards that direction?
Yeah, I think, T, at the end of the day, what blocks people from growing is if you think you know too much and your ego often. And I think many may or may not know my first job was cooking in a kitchen in Durban at 15.
Oh, so you can cook.
I enjoy cooking and love cooking. Johannesburg, there was a big petrol attendant strike. And I remember going and walking down to the petrol station and saying to the manager, okay, all the attendants are on strike, but surely you need someone to pour the petrol. And he said, okay, are you happy to help? I said, yes. I remember I put the petrol in this one guy's car, drove a Mercedes, gave me 100 Rand as a tip. I was like, Jesus, this is amazing. This is great. And thank goodness the attendants came back to work. And I handed out flyers at Robots promoting different events. And I've always had that entrepreneurial spirit. I think you need to innovate. You need to understand that egos are one thing and something that often blocks people from growing. And I think Gandhi gave us a great quote where he said, keep living as if, or should I say, keep serving and keep living as if you're going to live forever. But keep learning as if you're going to die tomorrow. Sorry. Keep living as if you're going to die tomorrow, but keep learning as if you're going to live forever. And I think for me, that's a quote that's always resonated with me, because we have to live and appreciate every breath we take, but never stop learning and growing, because we need to have that mindset and that spirit of growth.
Wow. Amazing how this whole journey is just unfolded in the first 10 minutes, and I love it. But I want to come back again to, yes, you're now with the Royal Challengers Bangalore. That's a very big franchise. I think the IPO is one of the most prestigious events in the whole entire world. And to be involved with such, where are you mentally when that call or that door opens? Were you prepared for what you were putting yourself through? Were you mentally prepared for what you were putting yourself through?
I think 7 weeks in India, you can't prepare.
Wow.
You can't prepare mentally for it. I think I did consider saying no when I got the call to please come to India and work with them.
Was that because you were scared? Or?
Yeah, I was nervous. I was 20 odd years old. I was nervous. I'd started to build a business in South Africa. And I nearly said no because I wasn't sure what I would come back to after 7-8 weeks of being in India. Would this business now be nothing, and would I have to restart it? And what's the point of risking many years of hard work for 7 or 8 weeks of fun? But I decided to say yes, and I decided to empower key people on my team in South Africa that could keep these different businesses alive and growing. And I went there with an open heart and again the willingness to learn. But when you're standing opposite Chris Gayle throwing balls and Virat Kohli standing in the nets and you got Ross Taylor there that wants to bat and says, Jono, come and throw, you realize that this is no more Johannesburg or primary school that you work at, that this is the real deal and you've got to step up.
And also, as well, sorry to cut you, the mere fact that you're thinking, what knowledge will I impart to this player? He's done it all, he's played everywhere, and who am I? I'm sure there is a sense of self-doubt as well. In as much as Ross Taylor is saying, come and throw balls to me, you're thinking, even if he misses a half volley, am I going to tell him that, no, mate, move a little bit more?
I'll tell you a funny story. About 2 years prior to that, Lions, obviously at the time, were going through a bit of a an issue, and I think they fired the coach. I can't even remember who it was. And they brought Ray Jennings in to do the T20, and Ray brought me on as his assistant coach.
Wow.
But at that stage, I'd mainly been working with sort of 13, 14, 15, 16-year-olds. So the first fielding session down here, Enoch Enkwe was a player, Garnet Kruger, Elvira Peterson, Neil McKenzie.
Quality names.
And those guys were playing, and it was a fielding session. I had the mitt and I had the bat. And I remember that first ball being thrown in the mitt, and I thought, geez, I've broken my finger here, I'm telling you. The second ball, and now I've got like tears rolling down my eyes because I feel like my hand's about to fall off. And I remember Garnet Kruger threw one in, and I missed it completely. It hit my big toe. And I thought, flip, I've broken my toe here. And I had to keep going. Anyway, thank goodness the session ended. But Ray Jennings called me over. He said, you're a disgrace. You either have to get better or I can never use you again. And that's the reality. And at that point, I had a decision. Do I just keep cooking or keep doing what I need to do?
Or playing with the big boys.
Or do I realize that if I want to run with the dogs, I can't wee with the puppies, and I have to learn how to catch and do things better. Wow. And these are learnings that one has to go through on their journey, and either be prepared to step up and get better or go a different route.
Wow.
And as I say, 2 years after, Ray told me I was terrible and he'll never work with me again unless I get better. I found myself in India throwing and hitting to Virat Kohli and Chris Gayle and others. And
it comes back to me
incredible.
as you are a man that never gives up. Because surely the mere fact that someone like Ray Jennings, someone of his magnitude, to come to you and say you were atrocious right there, it messes you up mentally, confidence as well. And the thing is, you're coming from 13, 14, 15-year-olds. That is a big jump. 1, 2, it speaks volumes about your career and where you are headed. Then you've got a senior that tells you that, geez, that was crap. That was nonsense. Did that mess up with your mental?
I don't think so, T, because at the end of the day in life, you're always going to hit challenges and hurdles and times where you do have that self-doubt. But I think the ability to want to keep stepping forward and moving forward is really a mindset and a choice at that particular point in time. So whilst, yes, tough to swallow, you know how good you are and you know how good you can be. And really it's for you to understand that the sun will rise tomorrow, and it's up to you to get up and keep moving forward. And if I look at players that I've worked with, I mean, Rabada still chats to me around when he doesn't have a great game, or Temba doesn't have a great game, or Quinton de Kock, or any of these players. Businesses make deals that make a lot of money, and businesses make deals that don't. And at the end of the day, that's what life's about. Sorry, I'm about to sneeze.
Yeah, go ahead. Bless you.
Excuse me, thank you. And you have these opportunities to move forward. But really, what it boils down to is choice, to get back up and have that never say die attitude, and that ability to deal with disappointments. And no matter where you are in life, you're going to encounter those disappointments.
Wow, amazing.
And cricket's that game of failures. I mean, I've told these players often they're going to fail more times than they succeed.
Yeah.
But who has the ability to keep working hard? Who has the ability to get up tomorrow and try to be better than they were today? Are those that really get to the top.
Amazing. You built DJ Coaching, and prior to that, you built 11 other businesses. What was the thinking process behind DJ Coaching? Because DJ, that's not your initials, is it? I always wondered. The first time I came to Joburg, I was like, what is DJ? Because I know it's Jono LeafWrights one, but why is it not JL? You understand, with your initials?
Yeah, so a strange story, and that's why I'm saying at times in your life you got choices. And I was running my own little thing with a couple of people. But in 2005, Ray Jennings' son, Dylan Jennings,
yes.
DJ, was quite a big academy out of Dainfern. And I was offered to go with another partner at the time, and I decided to stay with Dylan. And I had my own little thing. He had DJ Coaching, and I said, Dill, for my clients, they'll see the D as Dylan and the J as Jono. For your clients, it's still Dylan Jennings, nothing changes. Wow. So let's partner up and grow this thing. And through Dylan, I met Ray, and Ray liked what I did and liked the way I did things and my work
that's
ethic.
how Ray then called you to assistant coach.
I got close to Ray through his son Dylan, and how I got the opportunities with Ray that I did. And through Ray, I got other opportunities because he was S&U19 coach at the time. I became national talent scout for CSA. Got to know a lot of people within the cricketing circles. And as I say, a lot of the players which are playing for the Proteas today or playing for the Lions today, I worked with as national talent scout because we found them in the talent acceleration of Cricket South Africa. And all these players came through my hands and we got close to them. And as I say, here we are today. But the funny thing is not only players, but coaches. I mean, Hashim Amla was a Protea when I was serving him tea or carrying his bag.
Now he reports to you.
And I employed him. Russell Domingo was the head coach of the Proteas when I was cleaning the dishes and making the milkshakes. And Russell often says that now as a joke that I was running around serving him and the team, and now I'm signing the contract to employ him. So, as I say, you never understand how life's going to pan out. But as long as you stay true to yourself and are good to people around you and are a nice human being, good things will happen.
Wow, amazing, man. I'm so blown away. I asked you a question offline, and you mentioned the Lions, and I'm going to take that opportunity. And I was going to ask the whole entire thing, and you mentioned the Lions, and I asked you offline, and I said, how does it feel to be a CEO? And you were still telling me another story. So my question to you, how does it feel to be a CEO of such a huge, Gauteng cricket is huge. I think no one can dispute that. You are heading such a huge organization. How does it feel? Before I ask you what that entails.
Yeah, I think too, it's a blessing. I wake up every single day feeling blessed to serve the people of this ecosystem, serve the 200 odd affiliated cricketing schools, the 60 odd affiliated clubs, the thousands of people that love the game of cricket, the scorers, the umpires, and the fans, and the players, and every single person that plays a role in the game. And as the leader of the ecosystem of Lions cricket, I don't take that for granted. I wake up every day trying to be better today than I was yesterday, trying to empower people around me so that as an ecosystem we can grow and develop. But it's tough. The complexity of the business is tough because it's got so many different stakeholders. But I'll go back to an earlier thing that I said. This is not the Jono show. And Lions cricket will not be successful or dominating if people think it's me and me only. There's an incredible team of people under me. There's an incredible board, the incredible coaches at schools and clubs and administrators and volunteers in these systems that really keep the game alive in the hearts and the minds of the people. I'm blessed that people see me as the people CEO, dancing in the crowd and doing my thing.
Yeah.
And that's something which I really enjoy having the title of as people CEO. And I think, again, it speaks to who I am as a person, and that the fact that I got this title, which I've never enjoyed titles. And if you look at any of the other businesses I've had, even now, you won't come to my office and see CEO on my door. Because I'm just Jono. And while I'm in this role, I'm going to serve and I'm going to lead. And I've got 4 words which I live by: live, love, learn, and lead. Because, as I say, if we live as if we're going to die tomorrow and keep learning as if we're going to live forever, and we understand the power of love and understand the power of the people, we'll serve with the right heart. And for me, that's what I've really strived for. But it's been an incredible journey over the last 4 years. 5 months after I got this role, COVID hit. So it wasn't tough. It wasn't easy. It was proper tough.
Yeah.
To not have fans here. I also walked into a business that was losing 14, 15 million a year. And during COVID, we managed to turn that around to declare a profit. And this financial year that's just passed, we declared the best financial results in this company in the past 10 years. Wow. And that was off the back of a West Indies test match against the Proteas that started on a Wednesday, a pink day against the Netherlands. So we managed to turn the business around. I think we understand that whilst we're the custodian of cricket in the province, we're also in the business of cricket, and we have to run this as a business so that the funds we raise as a non-profit organization can go back into developing the game, can go back into giving opportunities and quality of opportunity to as many children and as many players in our system that have the dream to play for the Lions or to play for the Proteas.
Amazing words that you just said. You turned over. I think if you're losing 14, 15 million, that's in excess of $1 million every month. That's a lot of money. And here you are, you're sitting there. What has been, I think the Lions have had a spat of success over the last few years. What has been the secret behind that? Is it happy board that filters down to happy players, or what exactly is there? secret behind
I think
Lions?
when we walked in, I created a business plan at the back end of 2019 that really spoke to three things. It spoke to a stabilization phase, and then about, well, now how do we innovate and inject some life, and then how do we grow? And I think COVID probably forced us to do that quicker than we could have or should have. And if you look at the stadium now, pre-COVID, when I walked in here, we had 50, 60 people that came into the stadium on a daily basis, of which 85% were staff. Today, you've got over 1,000 people that use the stadium. We've got 55 odd permanent tenants, Wondrous Sports Medical Center, doctors, dentists, podiatrists, yoga studio, BRM retail, car wash. It's really a living, working, breathing place. In the Golden Triangle of retail in Africa, the stadium sits in that Golden Triangle. It sits in the heart of that Golden Triangle that links Sandton, Rosebank, and Morrow's Arch. And we had to monetize that. We had to sweat this asset. So we're no longer just a cricket stadium. We're a stadium that cricket's played in. And I think changing the mindset of the board, changing the mindset of the staff was a challenge, but certainly a challenge which the people around me, thank goodness, were up for. And we were able to accelerate that, as I say, pretty quickly. We ripped bars out of traditional hospitality suites where people were only using it 5-6 days a year on match day. We ripped bars out and put office desks and sold the space. And we transformed this DP World Wanderers into a living space that people could enjoy on a daily basis. Yeah. And that flipped the business model on its head and allowed us to understand what the business of cricket really is. Yeah. And if you look at other stadiums around the country, many are just dead on non-cricket days. Yeah. But we really are a living, working, breathing space that people love and enjoy coming to on a daily basis.
Wow. Well done to that. Well done. That's why I say it makes me so humbled as well to sit down with a man that has got so much breathing, so much knowledge and wisdom like this. So well done on everything that you've done. We've come back to, you just launched the women's professional setup. What's the thinking process behind bringing a girl that is playing club cricket into potentially playing at the Wanderers?
Yeah, club cricket's a key feeder system. For us, post the domestic restructure, club cricket became a critical feeder and pathway for players that wanted to play at the top level. We no longer had the sort of second team or the old strikers team as our talent pool that we could extract from. We need to extract from Premier League club cricket. We need to extract from our club system. And we need to make sure that our player entering our grassroots program and our talent acceleration program at 10 or 11 understands what that pipeline looks like and what that pathway looks like. And has that dream at the end to play for the Lions and the Proteas. Because for us, we need these players to dream big. We need them to understand what it takes from entering at 11 to playing professional cricket. And making sure that our entire pipeline, whether it be club cricket or school cricket, understands the vision and our Lions' way of doing things. And in the women's game, we really took a strategic decision about 15 months ago to elevate the women's game in the province and in the country. We were the first union to employ a full-time strength and conditioning coach. This was in the amateur setup, full-time physio in the amateur setup. Give them food, give them an experience that was elevated as much as possible to what the men's game was enjoying. So when the domestic game became professionalized this year, we didn't have to send out an advert for an S&C coach or physio because they're already in place. And many of the things that we did 15 months ago were already wheels in motion. So for us, the transition between amateur and professional was a fairly easy space for us to enjoy. And a fairly easy transition for our players to enjoy. And certainly, having looked at our squad now, we've had 2 successful weekends. We beat the Free State side in the 50 over and the T20. We beat the Titans this week, Saturday and Sunday, in the 50 over and T20. Our ladies on a very good space. We had 2 S&19 players win the CSA Under-19 awards in Kwena Mapaka in the men's space and Karebo Meso in the women's space. And to see that talent rising through our talent acceleration program is super exciting. If you look at the SAT 20, 3 of the 6 rookies came from Lions cricket, which again speaks to our pipeline. That's excluding Kwena, who was picked up as an uncapped player for Paul Royals. So if you look at the young players and having 6 S&19 players in the men's setup and multiple players in the women's setup playing S&19 cricket, it bodes well for the future of this province. Last year we won 7 trophies. Men, women, blind cricket, deaf cricket, schools cricket, township, hub program cricket. So not only are we dominating financially, not only are we growing the sport, we're also lifting the trophies. And as a union, celebrating many many good feats as a team and as a unit, because every single person, whether it's yourself telling the stories over this podcast, whether it's our clubs, our schools, our coaches, every single person is contributing to the success of Lions cricket. And that's why, as I say, I'm truly blessed to serve this union and truly blessed to serve next to the people that invest so much time and energy into making it great.
Hence I said, you sometimes pinch yourself. Anyway, before I let you go, you seem like you are a very busy man. How do you keep a balance between your excessive work schedule and family and social life and everything else? How do you keep a balance? Because it seems like you're busy.
Yeah, my dad was with Nampak for 42 years, and I watched him work hard, but he never put me second. And he passed away 4 years ago through cancer. Unfortunately, he lost his fight. But he taught me what to be a good dad was. And I've got two beautiful children, an amazing wife and mom and family that I need to always put first. Sometimes I don't get it right. But the Coca-Cola CEO taught me a good lesson in that work is like a bouncy ball. If you drop it, it'll bounce back and you can catch it. Family and life is a glass ball. If you drop it, it breaks. And I've tried to instill that in my team here, that they need to put their family and their lives first before cricket. But finding that work-life balance is a challenge, and a challenge on multiple layers. There's sometimes where I drop my daughter off on a Monday morning at school, and I see her awake on a Friday afternoon or Friday evening when I get home. Yet I've slept at home that whole week. I've come home after she goes to sleep, and I've left before she's woken up. So it's not easy. But you have to have a family next to you and people next to you that understand it and are supportive of it. And I'm very blessed to have that in my wife and my two kids. But I think that the key is when you are able to give them time, you have to give them all of your time and not be distracted by the noise or by the complexity of what sits around you.
Wow. I said earlier in wrapping that we are trying to put a spotlight on club cricket. Do you think as part of your portfolio, you guys are doing enough to put club cricket on the media map and not only the help or the assistance that you're giving them with regards to the Premier League setup is so nice. Enza was sponsoring it at some point, and you are putting grassroots. There is implementations on that. But when it comes to bringing them on the media space, what are you guys doing? And that's what we need advice from you as well, that in as much as our vision is to see club cricketers being in the spotlight, what advice would you give us as a podcast with regards to that? Because we want to partner with someone like Lions. That's why we speak to you. That's why we make those relationships with you. What advice would you give us in with regards to helping you help us, or helping we being part of that furniture, part of the family?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, you guys are telling the story that's often untold, where the listener doesn't often get to really understand the granular detail of the ecosystem or what it does or what it delivers on. And we certainly as a union appreciate people like yourselves and the media for telling those key stories, so that stakeholders or partners that are listening potentially see, well, that's the angle for us to get involved. I mean, when I took over here, Lions Cricket at the time, I think, had one or two sponsors. If you look at our kit today, they've got multiple sponsors in multiple categories. And that's because we told the story. And we created a vision that our partners could align to. As you know, for us at Lions Cricket, is not only about producing good cricketers on the field, but great people and great human beings off it, and people off it that can impact society and grow our communities and allow our children to dream big and live in a province and in a South Africa that we all are happy to be in and feel safe to be in. And certainly club cricket, as a part of our ecosystem, as a key stakeholder in our Talents Acceleration program, is absolutely critical to create quality of opportunity for all and to try level the playing fields as much as they can. I mean, we've got clubs in the Deep West Rand, in Gigiso, Alexander, Lenasia, Soweto, around the stadium. I mean, we've got 60 odd clubs that serve different communities around them. And who knows who the next Temba Bavuma or Rassi van der Dissen or Quinton Okoc will be. I spoke at a school function on Friday where there were about 500 11-year-olds sitting in front of me. And I said, well, strangely enough, many years ago, I spoke to a very similar group of people that had Quinton Okoc and Gigiso Rabada sitting on the grass like you are tonight. None of us knew at that time that they were going to play for the Proteas or be the best in the world. But they had the skill, they put a good set of people around them that could help them achieve what they've achieved, and they worked hard to get there. And club cricket is that key space. If you know, at Lions Cricket, it was a strategic focus. We sold the Premier League men's rights to Enza, women's rights to DP World, Saturday knockout competition to Macrocom. Black Widow runs our Premiership T20 competition in the province. And all of that has prize money and a trophy, and it's an elevated experience for the players that play in it. And then we launched the Jozi Cup, as you know, 2 years ago. And what did the Jozi Cup do? It tried to stretch the club cricketing season. It tried to give our clubs an opportunity to monetize and commercialize itself during the winter period. In year one, we had 1,215 players sign up. In year two, over 1,800 players sign up. Multiple clubs involved, from under 11 right up to our veterans, and right up to our players that are over 40. So if you look at what we're doing for club cricket, it is a massive focus for us, because we believe that our next generation of Lions cricketer is going to come out of that sector and out of that community. Where they are or who they are, time will tell. And hopefully we're all around in these seats to enjoy the benefits of what club cricket does for us as a union, and the pivotal role it plays in the success of us as a union.
Wow, amazing. Jono, you've been amazing. Thank you. In closing, I always ask my guests this question. A wise man once said, and please don't give me the first one that you said, live like tomorrow is not going to end. Can you give me another motivational wisdom quote a wise man once said that you live by?
I use a quote, and the same quote in many of my chats. Champions don't become champions when they win the event, but in the hours, the weeks, the months, and the years they spend preparing for it. The victorious performance itself is merely a demonstration of their championship character. I think anyone who wants to be successful in business or on a sports field, it's not about the talent. Michael Jordan often speaks about talent win games, but teamwork and intelligence wins championships. And at the end of the day, championship characters and people that are prepared to work hard and understand that we're all here as common South Africans to grow a province and a country together are those that I want to be around. I don't really care how good you are or what your CV looks like. I want to know what kind of human being you are and what kind of team player you are. I often say the word team actually stands for together, everyone achieves more.
Wow, amazing. Jono, you've been amazing. The last one is, what has been your overview of the podcast or the last 45 minutes?
Yeah, fantastic. I'm certainly excited to hear this podcast, and we'll be following it more, and certainly I encourage you to let's reach out after this and connect, and I'll loop you into my marketing commercial team and how we can share the stories that you put on every Thursday. So thank you very much for this opportunity. Wow, awesome. It's been fantastic to chat, and thank you from the bottom of my heart and Lions Cricket's heart for telling our story as Lions Cricket as we grow this great sport together.
Wow, awesome stuff. Thank you so much. Thank you for the blessings, and thank you for sitting down with us. We'll let you go now, and I know you're a busy man. Cheers for now. Thanks
to you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.